In the context of the Darksiders universe, War is the youngest of the Horsemen, and yet one most mature. Using a strong sense of stoicism, it can be argued that War has no real personality other than as his duty as a bound warrior. And while sometimes that is the case, there's also some heavy flaws to War. For example, his quick anger temper, his lust for revenge, and his occasional snark. Well, maybe not the last one. But these traits are just few and far between. And sadly, most of these traits combine into a stereotypical stoic badass with some minor anger problems. Mix that together with War's seemingly non-existent character arc, and sadly, you get what I believe to be the most bland of the Horsemen, but nowhere near forgettable. War is the archetypal knight of the Horsemen, or a more fictitious samurai, if you wish to draw that more direct comparison. He's bound by his code of law and worthiness to enter battles, and he is clear to respect his enemies and allies. But as mentioned previously, this makes War more of a walking stereotype than a character. And we often regard stereotypes as a very bad thing, resulting in negative traits and ideas such as racism, sexism, homophobia, and more. However, I find that in the case of War, his stereotype plays directly into the theme of Darksiders, serving as a contrast to the setting and other characters around him. At the heart of Darksiders is the idea of honor, and how honor is portrayed and interpreted by both heaven and hell with a simple question. Would you serve in heaven or rule in hell? Now, what do I mean by this? Well, Abaddon and his fellow conspiring angels in the Lone Maker believe it is their duty and honor to rid the universe of hell and its armies. Abaddon is further willing to sacrifice his honor from serving heaven into ruling the forces of hell on earth, following his defeat of Straga. Azrael has abandoned his own honor when helping Abaddon, relegating himself to the Black Throne and giving up his duties of guarding the Well of Souls. Samael and Vulcan are two demons with no honor, offering backdoor deals that will benefit their own goals. For Vulcan, that will be to gather a network of souls and trays to keep people on a leash for him. Samael, well, it's still unknown. However, later games have indicated he has proven to be a threat to Lucifer himself. Samael, like to destroy foregone old honor to rule hell. We even see this idea in some of War's siblings. Fury has a clear drive for ego, forgoing honor in favor of arrogance. Strife seemingly gave up all hope of restoring his honor, wallowing in self-pity and regret throughout most of Genesis. Death is the only one closest to War in this regard, doing what he can. But Death never had his honor nor pride shoved to the side and questioned time and time again. And it's through this idea we see how War's contrasting personality and journey highlights the uniqueness of the Horsemen in the middle of the apocalypse. While the other characters continue to fall to the wayside, forgoing their honor in favor of power and corruption, War climbs out. He uses his stereotypical rage and short temper along with his knightly behavior to carve a path forward to him, to serve. Not the heaven, but his own heaven, his balance. It can be argued that War is one most devoted to the balance, right behind Death. He doesn't question the Charge Council, and furthermore doesn't even bat an eye when he's able to redeem himself in the name of the balance, to hunt down the ones responsible for the apocalypse. This causes the drive in War to move forward, to reclaim his lost honor no matter the cost. War stands out in the crowd of monsters and mayhem as a beacon of hope and redemption. His personalized heaven is that of restored balance and his place back in the table of the balance. Rather than sacrifice his honor, he guns for it. Rather than wallow in self-pity and prison, he is actively trying to make the ones responsible for the apocalypse pay. And rather than accept that the universe is there to question his honor, his stoicism, his morals, he's moving forward. Until he finds the one other being in the universe with honor. It shouldn't be a surprise that Uriel, the angel and new commander of the Hellguard, is the only honorable creature left on Earth. Uriel is the idealized angel. She's willing to follow her commander to hell and back, willing to fight when no one else is, stubborn, serving, powerful, righteous. Yes, that stubbornness gets her in pain, her brash actions not always the wisest, but this isn't about Uriel. And it's no wonder why she leads the final assault on the destroyer. It is also no surprise she is willing to uphold and agree upon the terms of the honor duel with War, killing him and breaking the seventh seal to achieve victory. Uriel is the last of Heaven's honor. After Abaddon, Azrael, the Archon, Jeremiah? After Abaddon, Azrael, the Archon, Jeremiah Astarte, and Uriel all abandoned what they had. Leadership, duties, knowledge, understanding, love, companionship, all gone for the sake of ruling in hell. It makes Uriel rise back up to the status of heaven's honor and war's close companion because of it. And what makes war so unique is the apparent blandness runs deep through the series of each game. Fury finds her new, more honorable purpose in protecting humanity's remnants. Death's honor actively pushes him to assist all forms of life, no matter how wicked, cold, dead, or dying. And Strife, the most hopeless and regretful of all of them, finds no honor himself, struggling with the idea that he can even get to the point his brother has found. Until he does. Because he had war. And so did Death, and so did Fury. Finding honor in the unhonorable world acts as a central underlying theme for Darksiders. The characters of the first Darksiders games are by no means complex. Abaddon betrayed heaven in the balance in the pursuit of power and fear, resulting in him losing his honor and place. Uriel assumes the post and commands with distinction, or is the stoic knight, and while Samael is fun for the mystery, he adds very little to the overall story. But that doesn't mean they are any less interesting in terms of what they do and what they can come to mean. War and Uriel act as beacons of honor and distinction, rebelling against the constant cycle of falling into hell to rule and self-gain in favor of serving the bigger ideas of balance, redemption, honor, and finding peace in the universe. It's funny. The clearly simplest story, the simplest characters, and probably the smallest Darksiders game has so much to offer in terms of theming, ideas, and messages. I guess we just need to look deeper sometimes to find the beauty outside of the blood-filled hack and slash. I think that's pretty impressive in and of itself. Or I'm just digging way too into this. I don't know anymore.